Hey guys, Disloader Magic here. It's time for more spoilers from the upcoming Assassin's Creed Universes Beyond Magic the Gathering collaboration product. Whether people are going to buy it or not, and it's definitely seems to be leaning towards no, it's just interesting seeing, what they do with it. I mean, for Fallout, I wanted to see what they put on the cards and how they made it work, and like, what are they going to do with radiation? How's this going to work? And what's that going to look like? And is this going to be equipment? It's just neat. And there's a lot of that in this. What I'm hearing is that it's definitely not going to translate into sales, so there's all this like hype about it, but nobody's actually going to go out and like put money on it. But it's cool that it exists and it's free to look at, so that's probably why you're here. So let's jump in with Xiao Jun. Or Xiao Jun. Yeah, I worked 8 a.m. until midnight yesterday, and then I had to get up at 8 a.m. again today for something, so... Yeah, event coordinators and planners and sound technicians, very in demand in summer. Of course, that has nothing to do with the fact that I'm just secretly an assassin. So anyway, Xiao here is a 3-color 3/3 legendary creature human assassin with leap strike as long as it's your turn. Xiao Jun has flying and first strike, neat. And rope dart. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Xiao Jun deals 1 damage to each opponent. So once again, nothing special. If you're new to these spoilers, well, go watch video 1 first, but very low powered set, which is kind of nice, kind of refreshing. I think it's supposed to be standalone. It's not supposed to be, I have to rush out and put these in my deck, because people are really averse to outside universe stuff being like a have to include in their deck. I think this is Assassin's Creed players who have a vague understanding of Magic, and that's who they're trying to sell it to. And hey, that's fine. A little self-contained thing. Hey, do it up. But next up, we got Black Market Connections. It's a 3-cost black enchantment at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase. Choose 1 or more or sell contraband. Create a treasure token, you lose 1 life. Buy information, draw a card, you lose 2 life. Or hire a mercenary. Create a 3/2 colorless shapeshifter. Creature token with changeling. You lose 3 life. Now that's actually interesting right there. It's recurring, and in case you missed it, choose 1 or more. Like 3, for example. A free 3/2 every single turn? Like, are you kidding me? For 3? Non-legendary, by the way, so good thing this is mostly for Eternal formats. So next up, we got Aveline de Grand Prix. Big fan of the Grand Prix racing circuit. So it's a double green, 4 cost. They're doubling up on the single monocolored stuff like a ton in the set. I'm not actually really sure why. I don't really see the benefit other than slowing you down, and nobody likes to be slowed down because they're just 1 mana away, or they lost the game just because of a lack of mana fixing and proper lands. Because that's not you. That's not deck building skill. That's card draw luck. That's nothing. You're flipping a coin. This is a thinking man's game, damn it. If I wanted to just go play something where luck determined the majority of the outcome, I mean, there's plenty of other games like that. But anyway, it's a 3/3 with Death Touch, legendary creature, human assassin, who would have thought? Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on that creature, and then disguise 2. The 2 is 1 black, 1 green, by the way. Disguise is just morph with ward. So this is just more, assassins, assassin tribal, assassins do things. Wow. And then ironically, all the assassins are garbage. I haven't seen an assassin with above like a 3/3 yet. Is it supposed to be Zerg Rush Blitz? Are you supposed to build up? This is like, I wouldn't even put it in the top 25 for power levels for tribal in the game, but like I said, this is supposed to be self-contained. It's not really supposed to work with anything else. It's just supposed to be buy it and play it. That seems to be what I'm getting from the design. Well, next up, we got a mythic colorless legendary artifact. Hello, 6 cost. When Staff of Eden, it's Staff of Eden Vault's Key, by the way. When it enters the battlefield, put target legendary permanent not named Staff of Eden Vault's Key from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And then tap it and draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own. So if you're a horrible, horrible, dirty, rotten thief. For 6 as a mythic, this is actually like drastically underpowered. I mean, draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own every single turn. It's alright, I can see why they costed it so high, but it's so narrow. Like the whole return thing, I don't know. Next up, what must be done? It's 5 cost white sorcery, double white, because that's what they're doing. Choose 1. Let the world burn, destroy all artifacts and creatures, or release Juno. A shitty dial-up company from the 90s. Boy, that is a decision right there. You got a conundrum on your hands. So that one is return target historic permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It enters with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it if it's a creature. Oh boy, a Resurrector board wipe option card. I mean, I could see people playing that. There's probably already something sort of like this, not quite specifically. So I could feel people, running this outside of the set that it's in. They got a couple like that. So next up, we've got Excalibur's Sword of Eden. Oh, tell me this ain't as good as Godsend. We all know it ain't. Although it costs 12, except obviously it doesn't. Without even looking down, it doesn't. Oh, look at that, it doesn't. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana cost of historic permanents you control. Oh, so in other words, 0. Like, come on. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and has vigilance. Equip legendary creature too. Notice that it doesn't have a normal equip cost, so, I mean, as if you would ever try to play this in a deck that doesn't have legendaries as, like, the thing, so like a Dominaria thing or a Kamigawa thing. Those were the sets that primarily did, oh, legendary is the mechanic. And then I guess this one, obviously you could count this one, but I'm thinking, like, you know, it's colorless, what are you going to put it in? But if you got one of those, this is like a mandatory auto-include in your deck. And the fact that it's colorless means it can fit in anything. Also, I misread it. It's +10/+0 and has vigilance. I had to check. This is pre-ordering at $8. And yeah, I could see that. Still not as good as Godsend, though. Not even close. Not even on the same planet. But it's colorless. So next up, we got Desynchronization. It's a double blue. See, once I mention it, you're going to see it. 4 cost instant. Looks like maybe a mythic. No, rare. Really hard to say. You gotta look at the bottom left. It's just so narrow, like, and it's not enough pixels. Anyway, return each non-land permanent that's not historic to its owner's hand. Oh ho ho! Hello there. So artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. So yeah, you're getting rid of everything all of your opponents run for 4. Kind of like Cyclonic Rift, kind of like, there's like 5 other versions of it. You know, blue costs 4 or 5, bounces everything. Except, I mean, I don't have a full deck list, but I assume this would leave 70, 80, 90% of your whatever you got from that deck in play. So this is pretty darn powerful, I gotta say. Next up, just some real cool looking full art cards there. They're not borderless necessarily. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. It probably does. But the art really pops. And, you know, the scenery and the backgrounds and stuff and the different games and all that really big in Assassin's Creed. You know, kind of same with Far Cry, you know. You're going to get some scenic stuff. So take a look at all of them sometime if you want. Otherwise, next up we got Sunbaked Canyon. Now this is a rare land. It comes in untapped. You can tap it, pay 1 life, so it's a pain land, and generate 1 red or 1 white. And there's 5 different versions of this for the 5 color combos that they went with. But then you can pay 1, tap it, sack it, and draw a card. That's pretty big, which I believe is what I said about it the first time around when these were printed in Modern Horizons. Yes, not actually new. They were this particular card was in the Doctor Who Universes Beyond set, but now it's in this one, so because they printed it so dang many times, get this. Okay, you're not even going to believe me, but I assure you this is the case. Modern Horizons, $7.50. This one, and I mean literally this one, full borderless from an unreleased set, $4.99. How's that work? Well, in fact, the Doctor Who extended art is $8.50. The regular Doctor Who regular frame is $7.50. And like I said, the regular, normal, blah, whatever frame from Modern Horizons 1 is $7.50. How is this $5? It's borderless. I don't get it. So go take a look at the other ones if you're really interested. Otherwise, we're moving on to Jacob Fry. It's a 3-cost, 3/2 legendary creature, human assassin. And this is partnered with Evie Fry, which we've already seen. So you can... Basically, well, I'll just read it. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Evie into their hand from their library, then shuffle. I could have sworn that it meant you can run them both as commanders. Since when is that not partner with? Maybe I'm confusing something else with Battle Bond, but I thought that was the same thing. Whatever, I'm not buying this, so I don't care how it works. Whenever one or more assassins you control deal combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target assassin card, or a card with free running from your graveyard. If you do, copy it. You may cast the copy. Ooh, we get a little token clone of it. Neat. And believe it or not, that's it. I'm not covering some of the more uninteresting filler cards or, you know, some of the uncommons. This is pretty much rares and mythics and a couple that I found interesting. And that's it. So, not really sure what the size of this set is. It does have, like, a starter kit, which is kind of weird. So we saw some cards from that. That was kind of weak too. The lands are interesting. The artwork is just insane. I think people are just going to collect this. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, I got to rush out and play with this. It's just like, yeah, I'm into this. I'm a big fan of it. I'll buy it, and that's what they're going for. I think they have said that the Universes Beyond are insanely expensive when they're paying the IP commissions to like use their intellectual property, but they're making a ton of money on it as well. Not just gross, but like net. So the profitability is there. They're going to keep doing these, and they're going to find even bigger fandoms. I think now that it works and they can prove it, some of the more skittish ones and the more like we really protect our IP ones are on the table. I would be shocked to not see Star Wars. And if you look at the number of like video games in the last 20 years with Star Wars, they'll license that IP to anybody if it's a game apparently, but don't know why they haven't worked with WotC yet because they're both woke trash, but I'm sure it's coming. My guess is they just wanted too darn much money. And let's just address the elephant in the room. Pokemon. I don't think it would ever happen. But you want to talk about the biggest IP to tie into right now? They have their own card game. They would never do this. But it's an example of like, okay, super protective of their IP. Like they say, you can do this, you can't do that. We got to have this consistency, which is funny because there's massive contradictions in the lore, the history, the technology, just everything. The whole universe is an absolute joke. It's like an 8-year-old tried to like write a thing about how he thinks reality works. And it kind of supports the theory that Ash is dead the whole time. That's one of the few, oh, he's dead the whole time thing. Yeah, that applies to everything everywhere, okay? You can make that fit anything. It's kind of been played, but that was one of the original ones where like Pikachu killed him or something. And now he lives in the world as a 10-year-old would see it. And if you, now that I said that, if you go play through like the first 3 games especially, you're like, oh yeah, just a 10-year-old that just walks around, gives adults advice and kind of always has enough money and just kind of doesn't have to worry about food and like, like I get it, it's a video game, but it's also now it's like more than that. It's like a whole thing with a whole universe and they're still on that. So you gotta wonder. It is definitely interesting. But despite that interesting little internet mystery tangent there that's going to get you thinking, I think there are other IPs out there where they're like, okay, well, this makes money. They respect it. Let's team up with WotC. And historically, they're only looking for hyper woke. I mean, like Doctor Who, they drove that off a cliff. That is preachy, low talent. Writers don't care about anything or know what they're doing. They just want to yell at you and tell you you're wrong and be all superior like every lefty idiot. And it is such utter garbage. Oh, look, they're working with WotC. Shocker. That's why we have to see Star Wars coming. It has to be coming. There's no way it's not coming. But the question is, what else? And you might say, well, anime for sure, because there's just so much crossover. They already did Warhammer. What is next? They've done TV shows. I don't know. Leave your best guess down below. Let me know if you're a big Assassin's Creed universe expert or fan or whatever, what you think of this so far, because I have no idea. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.